She just wants to go live. Yeah, now we already live, I think.
Okay, we are live.
तो बस लाइव आ गए सब चुप हो गए.
That's
Ajay
the magic of that live button. People start behaving.
Ajay and Ramesh, your traveling has reduced considerably. No travel, right? Almost a year.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yes,
haven't yet
yes,
started traveling. It's only the
yes.
local commute between home and office.
Okay.
Okay.
Correct.
So, Ajay?
Same here. Same here. Office to
Mm.
home, home to office. That's all.
Okay. So, are you guys frontline workers to get the vaccine?
No, not
No, no,
really.
no.
Not yet registered.
I think it's the store team which needs to get it first.
Ramesh will get earlier. I came to know today only. Ramesh will get vaccine earlier.
Because I'm in that,
Age
the
group.
privileged category.
Which category? Yeah. Okay.
So sometimes, age works in your favor.
It
Yes.
does.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm in that, age group. The privileged category.
Which category? Yeah.
Somebody's Facebook is running.
Yeah.
Paula, you'll have to
Mute.
mute your Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I'm
2:30.
just copying the link. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another series of debates which OCL live streams on Facebook. And today's topic is very, very, sensitive, interesting,
Hot.
debatable, and hot. It is if optometrists have to be involved in dispensing. So that's the topic. We'll have 2 rounds each for each team, and 2 people in each team. That's how it works. And each person gets 5 minutes for the debate, maximum of 5 minutes. Paula will maintain the time. And the moderator, of course, is none other than Nilesh. So over to you, Nilesh.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi, and thank you, Team OCI, once again for having me. And thanks to all of you who are still watching me after so many debates and after so many sessions, But I think it is quite interesting. Today's topic is really hot, and informally, whenever we talk within the group of optometrists, there are always a few people who are for this. There are a few people who have very strong opinion which is not in the favor. So we thought, why not have something like a debate around it with senior optometrists who have spent decent length of time in the field of optometry. So we have a very elite panel actually for today's debate, and I'm going to introduce them one by one. And I chose going alphabetically, so there is no confusion why I picked one person first, right? So that gives me Ajay Mishra as the first one to be introduced. So Ajay, first of all, welcome. Hope
Thank
everything
you,
is
sir.
fine in Kolkata.
Yes, sir.
So Ajay is currently the General Manager of Professional Services and Technical Sales at GKB Lens Private Limited. He's based in Kolkata, but he manages the entire country. Um, Actually, he's working with GKB Opticals for last 16 years. And if I remember correctly, he was absorbed right after his internship at the GKB. So
Absolutely.
they really hunted the talent well, I must say, right? He's a visionary actually, and known for his leadership skills and expertise in dispensing techniques. He's created his unique identity for himself. You can look at his style, and that endorses his uniqueness, yeah, in the optical industry also, and in the optometry fraternity as well. I actually feel privileged, and I feel very happy when I see him, because wherever, even it could be a small part, but I think in his journey I am also part of his journey as a successful optometrist, right? And Ajay, I shamelessly take a little bit of credit of your success.
And
I hope you are
and
okay with
and
that.
I would say entire credit to you. And for today's topic, you are the master, and I learned dispensing from you. So I'm
Thank you
going
so
to
much.
whatever I say, it is not me, it is you.
ऐसे आ रहे हो. Good. The second panelist is again a very good colleague of mine, very respected optometrist Anurag Vesh. He's a senior optometrist. He specializes in the field of contact lenses, especially the high-end custom-made RGP lenses, the rose K lenses, semi-scleral lenses, orthokeratology lenses, and the myopia control lenses. This is his special interest. He's a fellow of IACL. And he has also been a key opinion leader for various multinationals like Johnson and Johnson and Alcon. So one fun fact is, I think Anurag completed his Bachelor's of Optometry from AIMS, and he completed his Master's of Optometry at BVP, and that's when I think
And
I
my
got to.
guide was
I,
you,
I
none other
was
than Nilesh Teacher.
I was lucky to interact with Anurag that time. So we had good time, and we continue to enjoy a good relationship ever since. So welcome, Anurag. Hope everything is good in Delhi.
Yes, everything is fine.
Okay. Coming to Ramesh, our third panelist again. Ramesh is an ESO product. He's also a fellow of the British Contact Lens Association. Currently, he's the chief optometrist and head of training, eyewear division with Titan Company Limited. And I think he is with Titan since 2008. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ramesh. So
2008.
right, 2008. Yeah. So that's more than 12 years now. So well done on that, Ramesh.
Thank you.
He's currently managing the technical operations of the Titan Eye Plus stores across India, screening and selection of optometrists through campus and direct placements. So I must say he has an eye for talent in the optometry domain, right? Um, Training and certification of store staff, skill upgradation of store staff, then product innovation, technical evaluation of eye testing equipments and eyewear products are his key focus area. So I must say everything is your key focus area, Ramesh. What have you left for others? So a very renowned, a very strong person in terms of optometry knowledge, very sharp in his communication also. So welcome, Ramesh. Ramesh is joining us from
Thank you.
Bangalore, I assume. And last but not the least, very good colleague and friend and what I should say, a partner of mine, Mr. Yashwant Sauji, very well known face across India and outside as well. He's a senior optometrist from Nagpur, specializes in the field of contact lenses, and he has been in practice for almost 29 to 30 years now. Um, He's a senior visiting faculty for contact lenses at Bharati Vidyapeeth School of Optometry, also Vision Care Institute of Johnson and Johnson. Like Anurag, he is also key opinion leader for various organizations, along with J&J, Bausch and Lomb, and Alcon as well. His clinic, which is Sauji Vision Care in Nagpur, has been voted as India's first center of excellence for fitting irregular corneas by David Thomas Contact Lenses of UK. And for the love of education, he, along with another gentleman whose name I'm not going to reveal, started a unique educational initiative called as Masterclass Optometry. And he's been phenomenal, instrumental, I must say, in education and his contact lens practice both. So welcome, Yashwant. He's joining us from Nagpur. Hope everything is okay with
Thank
you,
you, Nilesh.
family,
Everything
and
is
clinic.
just fine. Other than that, I'm not getting the shot today.
Uh,
Rest everything is good.
हो जाएगा, हमारा भी time आएगा.
Waiting for the results.
अपना time आएगा.
अपना time आएगा. Awesome. So I think on that note, it's heating up now. It's warming up now. Let's get started with our topic, which is, should optometrists be involved in dispensing, right? And I'm going to, we have two people who will be more towards that, which is, I would say, Ajay and Ramesh. So I'm going to start with Ajay. Ajay, I'm going to give you the first chance to speak about why you feel optometrists should be involved in dispensing.
Okay, sir. So Nathan want to know whether optom should be involved in dispensing or not. Okay. So, sir, let me explain the word meaning of dispensing. Because most of us sometimes are getting confused or mixing dispensing with selling. And there the conflict starts. So dispensing is a process which is derived from dispensary. So if somebody is heading towards dispensary, what he is going to get in the dispensary? If patient is visiting in a dispensary, when he visits dispensary, he is going to see a qualified doctor. His job is primarily to diagnose and prescribe, and then he direct that particular patient to a compounder, and compounder is again a qualified person in compounds, and he sees the prescription, make the doses of all compounds and give it to patient. Now this place is called dispensary, and the process, what I explained, is called dispensing. So now, when it comes to our optical chain of optical or optometry practice, again the same process. People are visiting with a problem in eyes, and we are the expert eye care professionals. So we diagnose the problem, and let's assume it is a pure refractive error problem. The person is unable to see better, and so thus he has visited optometry clinic, and optometrist diagnosed fantastically, did refraction well, and found that he is having this particular prescription, which is mixed kind of cylinder prescription, and he gave it to that particular patient. Now, this patient visit to optical shop, or most of the time optometrist himself, they have optical shop outside the clinic. So then the dispensing process will take place. And now imagine the dispenser, the person who is dispensing is not qualified. He don't know the significance of lens material. He is not aware the significance of Abbe number, chromatic aberration. He never heard. He don't know what is the significance of lens design. He is not aware what is the significance of PD. He is not aware what is the significance of frame shape size. So at last end product is actually the entire process fails. When customer wear a spectacle, he is not satisfied. Now imagine who he is going to blame. He is going to blame that particular optometrist. So why this blame comes? Because optometrist has not he has not involved himself in dispensing. Had he involved himself in dispensing, the blame would have not come. The process would have gone very smoothly. Also, I believe we as we are the most qualified people in dispensing. We should we studied dispensing as a topic, as a subject in our optometry curriculum. So who can be a better person than us when it comes to dispensing? Can you also, sir, last question is, can you obtain optometry degree without clearing dispensing exam? If answer is no, then the process itself is being set when we were a student, that this is the integral part of optometry. So it is established fact that optometry itself is incomplete without dispensing. So optometrist can never be imagine himself that I can do away with dispensing and still I can be called optometrist.
Okay, thank you so much, Ajay. It comes through that you're very passionate about dispensing. I'm not wrong in saying that. And thank you for nicely defining what dispensing is and what it actually means. So we've definitely taken some points, and I'm sure those who are listening would have taken some points. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move across to Nagpur, and I'm going to allow Yashwant to speak his heart out now.
Yeah, so speaking my heart out. So Ajay has brought out some nice points, but I would beg to differ with him. I mean, in your optometry curriculum, you study so many subjects, and it is not necessary that you have to implement those subjects. I mean, I remember we studied accountancy, but that doesn't mean that I do my accounts, right? So we are primarily optometrists, and the scope of our practice is defined. We are the first line of defense against blindness, and we are experts in refraction, fitting of contact lenses, myopia control, binocular vision, vision therapy, and diagnosis of so many eye conditions. So Ajay did say that we learn about optical dispensing. Yes, we do, but this is not our primary job. We are equipped with the knowledge to counsel our patients regarding what kind of lens design he should select, what material he should select. So our job is to look at the prescription, look at the patient's requirement, understand everything, and then guide him, show him the path, and then leave him to the dispenser who may be outside your clinic or maybe somewhere outside on the road. There are reasons why we are optometrists and they are opticians, because they've got some work to do and we've got some work to do. Let's not cross each other's path, right? And just imagine for a second if the opticians engage into doing refractions. We're not going to like it, right? So we should not venture into their territory. We should just be the guiding light for the patients. Also, when you're a clinical optometrist and when the patient is coming to you for their eye examination, there is a higher chance that they would listen to you. If you're a clinical optometrist, you've got an examination room, and if you counsel them across the table, as compared to a person who engages himself in optical
Yashwant, just
dispensing.
hang on. Your voice is not coming through clearly. Is it me or is it others
Okay.
also?
No,
I
for us,
don't.
it's fine, Nilesh.
It's fine. Okay, sorry. Go on.
Okay. So I was just saying that a patient is more open-minded, more receptive when the optometrist is more clinical rather than a dispensing optometrist, right? So it is easier for us to guide the patient properly with respect to all his eye conditions and requirements. And just because of the lockdown, I think we've got into the habit of doing everything at home, including our laundry, cooking, washing the utensils, sweeping the floor. That doesn't mean we should do everything in the clinic also. Fortunately, in optometry, we've got so many options, and I think we should leave dispensing to the dispensing optician rather than getting into their domain. We are primarily optometrists, and we should do our refraction part and diagnosing of eye conditions and contact lenses and so on and so forth. So, as I said, lucky for us, we've got so many areas to manage in optometry. So let's leave optical dispensing alone.
Awesome. Thanks, Yashwant. The experience is clearly showing through. And some of the points that Ajay mentioned, Yashwant has different views, and we also encourage the viewers to share their views on the Facebook chat, and we'll take some of them during this conversation. I think it's time to go back to someone who is for dispensing, and that's Ramesh. So Ramesh, over to you.
Okay, very good afternoon and Happy New Year to the panelists as well as to the organizing team, which is the OCI, and also to the people who are attending this debate. Yes. Yeah, I am in favor of, optometrists, actively participating into dispensing. The reason being, we are into a healthcare and eye care business, right? So hence, whatever we do, if see, a doctor just doesn't diagnose a condition, right? He also ends up treating the patients, right? So if we just limit ourselves to doing just the refraction bit and the optometry workup, then obviously we are not doing complete justice to our profession. What is the the end solution that we are going to give the customer or to the patient? That is more important. So hence, I think an optometrist is not wholesome if he doesn't complete the dispensing bit, right? So I can be a great optometrist. I give out an excellent prescription. I'm able to diagnose, what the customer, the problem that the customer has. But then if I'm not able to give that solution, then I've done only half my job, right? So we go to a doctor, we go to an optometrist, or we go to any consultant to get a complete solution. So we are that way blessed with, being able to provide end-to-end solution to our customers, to our patients. So hence I would, very strongly advocate that, like what, my, fellow panelist Ajay had mentioned, that, it is an integral part, right? So just to counter Yashwant's statement of, like we learn so many, subjects in our optometry curriculum, like accountancy, and hence we don't become an accountant, we don't manage. But then I think, it's up to us whether we use them or not, but it is definitely a value addition to our, knowledge. And at least in the initial phase, when we are running a practice, these subjects which you have learned definitely comes in handy, for you to run a practice or even to establish. But it is later on, as you develop, as you evolve, as you grow, that's when you end up employing people to take care of, various aspects of the practice, right? And leaving alone accountancy, I think dispensing is, is related to vision care. So at least whatever is within our realm of, expertise, I think that is where we need to, sort of take responsibility and sort of deliver that, right? And one important, underlying reason why I'm supporting this is because patients or customers come to us uh, for correcting their vision or for correcting any eye problem, right? So unless and until we don't, sort of end up giving that end solution, then I don't think we have completed our work. And we cannot leave it to a person who is not competent enough to do that job, because my, uh, you know, the value of my prescription is only felt if every person in that value chain is delivering his or her job. What I'm trying to say is, fine, I've given a prescription, but then if the person who is doing the dispensing, if he or she is not competent enough, then my prescription is, sort of, the customer really doesn't see the value of the eye test or the quality of, the prescription that I've delivered. So if I am involved in that dispensing process, then will ensure that I'm going to do a great job, and I will ensure that the final product which I give it to my patients or customers are going to be the best solution for that particular customer. So hence, I really can't sort of decouple both these aspects. They go hand in hand, and as I told you, it has to be, we have to do justice to the optometry as well as dispensing, and couple them and then give the complete solution to our customers. So yeah, over to Nilesh.
Nilesh, you're muted.
Yeah. Thank you, Ramesh. Again, very good, very solid points. And again, the passion that you have for dispensing is clearly coming through. I mean, it doesn't matter, when whether you want to portray yourself as a neutral person, but what you actually feel, what you actually are supporting, it does come through. So thanks for those wonderful points. There are a few comments which I will take after I let Anurag wrap up the first round, and then we'll take some of the comments from the Facebook. So Anurag, I'm sure you're waiting and your hands are already itching, right, to go?
Yeah.
All yours.
Absolutely.
Take it up. Take it.
So,
Yours.
first of all, I'll thank OCI for inviting me in this, very hot debate. And the topic is so hot that, everybody is discussing this, whether optoms should be dispensing. The thing is, there is a very thin line between dispensing and selling. And generally, we tend to cross this thin line. And similarly, there is a very thin line between consulting and dispensing. Now, to make it clear, whenever we are selling an object like a product, a commodity, like a contact lens or spectacles, selling is mostly target driven, or it is mostly influenced by the tie-ups with the companies with which you have a tie-up. Dispensing is more based on recommendation and rather consulting. Whenever you give a patient a consultation, it's more when you see the health aspects of the patient. Here we are talking about the eye care. So whatever which we feel is good for my patient, I will recommend, or I will consult during my consultation. So selling is more target driven. If I want to sell a particular category, if I want to sell a particular commodity, I will push that to my customer or to my patient. So here we generally tend to cross this line. Secondly, it's very important to remember what kind of practice you want to establish. You want to establish a consulting practice, or you want to establish more of an optical dispensing practice. So there it also becomes a driving factor. Fine. So you cannot be a consultant if you are standing in the optical setup across the optical counter. Nobody will value it. The same person, whatever he says, will value more if you are consulting across the consultation cabin. So that makes a huge difference in what kind of practice you want to get into it. So consultation versus dispensing, and dispensing and selling, as I told you, there is a very thin line. We tend to cross it. We tend to sell our products. We tend to, you get influenced by the targets which we have, set for ourselves, or the
Right.
business plans which we have taken up with the companies. We tend to follow that. We tend to neglect the consulting part of it. So I would say optometrists should be focused in consultation, more of consultation. Let the optician do its job. I mean, if opticians cannot do a consulting, the medical aspect of it, the eye care aspect of it. So you are the one who is going to do that. So why don't you do it? Why don't you concentrate on that? So I'll be like more pro towards optoms being a consultant rather than a dispensing optician. Fine.
Awesome.
Over to you, Nilay.
Thank you so much, Anurag. I like the way you segregated consultant and dispensing or optical dispensing part. I like that part especially. And also in the beginning itself, you said that there's a very fine line between dispensing and selling, right? And I think glad you mentioned that, because हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना सब फसाद की जड़ शायद वही है. So
Yes.
I think that's a solid point where people don't understand the line and they cross it unknowingly, and then the target becomes so important that you forget the scientific part behind dispensing. So I really like that point. Maybe a cue to OCI, you could think of another debate or another topic around selling itself, because optoms are also involved in
Sales.
some part of selling. So there could be a topic around selling, and that could be not just for optical dispensing but overall selling, right? Good. And it seems people have warmed up on the Facebook chats as well, and we are getting some interesting comments, some have some different views. So I think it's time to address some of those. And I have Facebook here also. So Lakshmi, I'll just read out some of the comments from here. Arijit Shah says that for me, dispensing starts with Ajay Mishra ji. Wow, kya baat hai, sir.
Oh,
Wow, wow, wow. Very good. So Sridhar Swaran says that agreeing to everyone's views, it's subjective. Most of the practice have just one optometrist and one salesman. In this situation, optometrist is the forefront where he handles the patient as well as customer right from receiving till closing. So maybe in certain practices you need to be more rounded and you need to have knowledge of everything. Usha Devaya says that I feel it is complete process only when we cover testing, advising the right product, and dispensing to customer being in retail practice. So when you're in retail, it completes when you're done with the dispensing also. Okay. Sridhar Swarna says one thing is for sure, that optometrist should be good in dispensing. Otherwise, he would not be in a position to troubleshoot. I think that's a fair point, that you may not use your dispensing skills routinely, but you need to have the knowledge and skills. So if a person comes back with a problem, you should be in a position to solve that. Shajan, being Shajan, has something to say. A good refraction alone does not guarantee great vision if the vision care device which is provided is poor. An optom can play the best role
Absolutely.
with right understanding of refractive status, lifestyle, and related matters, and then align products well. Best value-added products to be recommended in the clinic itself by Optom. And I think all of us would definitely agree to some extent that when you recommend it from the clinic, then because of the position you have in the clinic, it makes a difference where the recommendation is taken more seriously. Shakil Ahmed says, in this era, scope of optometrists are too broad, not limited to refraction and dispensing. We can think beyond it as a career like in consultant optometrists or corporate optical industries, etc., etc. So far, dispensing is concerned as an integral part of optometry. But I think he wants to say that we need to look beyond dispensing now, because there is so much more to the optometrist portfolio than dispensing. So that concludes some of the interesting comments. So we have people who are for, people who are also thinking something else. The first round has been quite interesting. We are enjoying it, and I'm sure viewers are also enjoying it. We'll go to the second round now. Same set of people. We'll just reverse the direction, right? So we started with Ajay in the first round. Now we'll start with Yashwant. So Yashwant, if you want to, give some more
Uh,
insights.
I was actually thinking that one person said for him dispensing starts with Ajay Mishra. So if we can stop Ajay Mishra, we won the debate.
You won the debate, right?
So Ramesh gave example of doctor. I think it was Ramesh only who gave it.
Yeah.
I would say the doctor examines the patients and writes the medicine, but it is the pharmacist who delivers the medicine. So I'm not saying I'm completely against optical dispensing, but make sure we guide the patient, we counsel the patient, we recommend a product, and then leave the dispenser to do the needful. Because I really like that last comment, Nilesh, which you wrote, which you read, that optometry has wider horizons now. Let's not limit ourselves to refraction and dispensing. I mean, there are so many things we can do rather than doing dispensing. So, and I can give you 100 examples like that. When you buy clothes from a store, does the salesman alter your clothes if the trouser is long? No, it is the tailor who does it. So there are jobs allocated to different people. Like when you buy a car, the car salesman is guiding you, helping you to select the right model, but it is the service department who would service the car and keep it ready for you, right? So I think we should allocate right areas to the right persons and not mix up two professions. So मिश्रा जी, बीवी बीवी होती है, साली साली होती है, कंफ्यूज नहीं करते हैं, अलग रखते हैं.
Absolutely, sir.
Yes, Nilesh. Nilesh, you're muted.
Yeah, and that's why he wanted to say that, I think Anurag made a point that there is a very thin line which you should not cross. Same applies from
Correct.
BV to Sali also. Now you're muted, Yashwant.
Cross नहीं करना है, वो याद
Exactly.
रखना है.
That's what. So even at that level, it should not be crossed.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So Ajay, you want to say something?
Of course, sir.
I'm sure you will.
इतनी जल्दी कैसे हार मान
Yeah,
जाएंगे?
exactly. लड़ेंगे.
So taking from Yashwant sir and Anurag ji's point, like dispensing optician का काम है, and therefore let us leave dispensing part to optician and give only consultation. I 100% agree on this, provided in India we should have a proper course for optician, and the day we start dispensing course, optician course, opticianary course like developed countries, I will be on your side, sir. Till that time, unfortunately, you have to be in my side. Till that time, we have to, it is in our soldier, we have to manage, because our profession is in stake. If we fail to dispense good quality product, then the society, they are looking at us. They says, boss, मैंने तो इससे prescription लिया था, मेरा चश्मा ठीक नहीं बना. And he is giving us a blame. He is thinking optometrist is not competent enough to even make a chashma, make a proper spectacle. So that is where I'm coming from, that in developed countries, these all are examples what you are giving, what Mr. Anurag is giving, is from developed countries. They have got qualified opticians, they have got qualified dispensers. So therefore, optometrist job, and you said that you have great horizon. Of course, I believe, and I personally believe that you have many other things to do. And we can leave dispensing part to a dispenser and optician, provided we should have a proper dispensing course and proper opticianary course.
So Ajay, abhi aap agar, if you go to a camp, right? I'm sure all of us conduct camps time to time.
Yes, sir.
And if you don't have a surgeon with you, and you see a lot of patients having cataract, so you cannot say, "Yaar, surgeon nahi hai, to main operate kar deta hu."
नहीं sir.
So अगर dispensing optician नहीं है, तो वो हमारी गलती नहीं है. That's what I'm trying to say.
So
I
अगर
agree
हम
with
कैंप
you
में
that we
सर्जरी मिलेगा तो हम सर्जरी तो नहीं करेंगे ना सर?
Exactly, that is what I'm saying.
Huh.
So if the optician is not there, if the qualified optician is not there, that doesn't mean that we should get into optical dispensing. This is my point.
हाँ, so dispensing करेगा कौन सर? Who will do dispensing then?
So specs वाले कर रहे हैं ना? Specs वाले कर रहे हैं. अभी भी कर रहे हैं.
They are not qualified ना? You believe that they are not qualified.
No, there are so many opticians who are having qualified optometrists with them who can guide the patients properly. And even
Okay.
optical training is now available in India.
I
Shankar Netralaya has got a
I
good.
take your point only. If I consider this camp, organizing camp and where we find cataract, uh, ophthalmologist, they said that yes, you can diagnose cataract, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
you are good in diagnosing in cataract, but you cannot do surgery.
Exactly my point.
Similarly, they
So what
yes.
Ajay, are you trying to say because it is not taught and covered in your curriculum, that's why you don't do it and you're not authorized?
Sorry, sir.
Do
I
you want
think
to
there
say
is
that it was because it is not in your curriculum and you are not authorized to do that cataract surgery?
yes, we are not authorized to do cataract surgery, and it is not in our curriculum.
Okay.
But whatever is in our curriculum, I think we are authorized. Regarding this dispensing is a absolutely vital subject in our optometry curriculum.
Okay.
Whereas accountancy is not a vital subject. If we fail in accountancy, we never been stopped from obtaining a degree. But if we fail in dispensing, आप तो मुझे सेकेंड ईयर से ही नहीं जाने देते ना, फिर सर थर्ड ईयर में कोई जाने नहीं देगा ना.
यार यहाँ थोड़ी सी गलती हो गई. हाँ, तब स्टूडेंट था, ये थोड़ा सा उसका एडवांटेज ले रहा है. Anyway, I think now it is sounding like debate. थोड़ा मजा आ रहा है. But thanks Ajay, thanks Yashwant. You both are passionate and we agree to some of the points of each of you, and we'll see how we can summarize this and put across something which everyone can take away. So after Yashwant and Ajay, we are going to move across to Anurag first, and then we'll end with Ramesh. Anurag, आपका क्या कहना है? The nation wants to know.
Yeah, the nation wants to know. There was a very good point raised by Ajay ji that we are talking about developed countries. कि वहाँ पे ऑप्टिशियन अलग हैं, ऑप्टोमेट्रिस्ट अलग हैं. Like मैं ये पूछता हूँ, हम कब तक डेवलपिंग कंट्री में रहेंगे? Why can't we a developed country? Huh? Can't you consider India like a developed country? We have come across, ages like optometry has grown in India so vastly. We have more fiacres than any other country probably. So
second most, you're right.
The most, yeah. So why not concentrate and make our profession more, recognized in the public domain? Optometry. आज की डेट में भी optometry is not a very well recognized profession. People don't have the concept of optometrist being a consultant, as I said. Generally optical shop पे जाते हैं, जो भी optical shop पे कोई testing करने के लिए होते हैं, he is doing everything, So basically, on the lighter note, whatever consultation which I give across my consulting table, suppose I want to dispense a contact lens, fine. So suppose I'm offering a kind of colored contact lens. The patient might ask me, Doctor, what all colors are available in this? And वही चीज अगर मैं across the optical counter कहूँगा, तो वो ये question होगा, भैया इसमें और color दिखाना. This is what happens in North India. वो डॉक्टर साहब से भैया पे आ जाते हैं. So, do you want to remain a doctor or a consultant, or you want to remain a bhaiya?
भैया वैसे भी नहीं चाहिए.
भैया वैसे भी नहीं चाहिए. ठीक है. So, what kind of, as I said, what kind of practice you want? Secondly, what kind of products we are, dispensing? I agree to a certain extent that everything, is attached. I mean, whether we are dispensing a contact lens or a spectacle or a progressive, some kind of consultation is, needed, whatever we are dispensing. But how do we approach it? Fine. So if I want to, sell a product or dispense a product according to the patient's need, definitely I'll be more of a consultant. But if I'm selling that product, driven by the targets and the company tie-up, I'll be selling it. Yes. So I would still say, no matter like whatever like profession you are in, basically if you are a consultant optometrist or a dispensing optician, these two categories should be kept separated as long as we can do it. don't mingle up them. But you need to be more of a consultative. I mean, you should have a consultative approach. That will be very helpful in establishing you as a professional, as a healthcare professional. Look, end of the day, we are talking about ourselves. We all are optoms. We are not opticians. We are talking of ourselves getting into dispensing. So if we end of the day are more satisfied that yes, we have consulted our patients, not the customers. So I'll be end of the day more satisfied, if I have consulted 10 patients rather than I have sold my products to 10 customers.
Right.
So that will satisfy
Correct.
me, my ego as an optom. Maybe I'll earn little lesser. Maybe my if I leave the entire job to my salesman, probably he won't. I mean, he'll do his job, but maybe I'll lose some of my revenue. But I'll be more satisfied as a consultant any day.
Okay. So Anurag, I can clearly say, understand that how passionately you want to remain as a consultant and as a independent clinical optometrist. That is clearly coming through. And thanks for reinforcing that again, that we need to be clear as to whether we want to be consultant or we want to be a dispenser. And in your opinion, it is clearly the consultant that you want to be. That gives you immense satisfaction as an optometrist and the respect that you command, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go to Ramesh. Ramesh, this is going to be the last one. After that, we'll take some beautiful comments and probably some questions also from the audience.
Sure.
Go
So just to address what Anurag had mentioned, right. So by doing dispensing, I don't think we are demeaning ourselves, right? So we still maintain our dignity. And I think that is what the customer is expecting out of us, right? So this gentleman who did my eye examination in that clinic, if he is going to, sort of come and help me in the frame selection and in the lens selection, because it's an art, it's a science. It's just not that, you pick up a frame from the counter and suggest any lens to the customer and the job is done. No. So it requires, as I told you, it's an art and a science. So which requires a qualified person like an optometrist to actually, sort of use his expertise and knowledge in selecting the right frame, in selecting the right lens based on the prescription, based on the lifestyle, and based on the customer requirement, right? So if this gentleman who had examined my eyes and who had completely understood my requirement and who has understood the lifestyle and my need, if he is going to, sort of, he or she, I'm sorry, I'm just talking about he, but the optometrist could be,
Yep.
so the gender neutrality, which I want to bring in. So if the optometrist, also guides me as a customer in selecting the best suitable frame, the best suitable lens, the best coatings, I think as a customer, my respect for that optometrist is only going to go up. Okay, I'm going to see him just not as an purely as a guy who is selling a product in the counter, but I am seeing as my doctor has actually taken the pains of coming out and helping me get the right product. So that is the sort of respect that I'm going to have to this customer. Many times, we have actually wanted, why do people go to an ophthalmologist for a simple refraction, right? Because they think that it is the ophthalmologist. In fact, if you look at the ophthalmologists, they are not supposed to be doing refraction, right? They are supposed to be treating cases and treating diseases and doing surgeries. But then customers go to them for simple refraction, patients go to them for getting their simple power check done because they feel that, this gentleman is going to give me the right prescription, right? So it is as I told you earlier also, it is a complete solution that I'm looking for. And the power of the white coat that the optometrist is wearing, whatever he or she does or says is considered as a gospel's truth. So hence, I don't see there is any, the stature or the ego gets affected when we get into dispensing. It only gets, it only gets raised to the next level. And I think the dignity of work that we do is absolutely in our mind. And, it's just not what others feel like. If we feel whatever job that I'm doing is, going to add value to the other person, then I think we take pride in doing it, right? So hence, I still feel that, we need to sort of, give an end-to-end solution and consider, optical dispensing as optometrist dost, not as optometrist dushman. Okay, so in fact, that is what we need to sort of get into. And obviously, when we are doing that, Anurag did mention about, consultation and all of that. In fact, dispensing is actually considered as a consultative selling, right? So though, we don't say direct selling, but it is a consultative selling. Yeah, you go to a consultant, you go to a financial consultant. What does he do? He's not actively selling, financial products to you. He just lays the entire options in front of you, tries understanding what is your goal, what is the amount of money that you require when you retire, or what is the money that you require for your children's education, or what is the money that you require for your future plans. Right. So based on that, they sort of create a product portfolio and then offer it to you all. So that is consultative selling. So, and even a doctor, even a medical practitioner, does consultation and does consultative selling. So there is nothing wrong in doing a consultative selling. But yes, that line between being purely seen as a sales guy is not something we are supposed to be doing. But we have to hold our professionalism and still do the dispensing. One more analogy which I would like to give before I hand over my thing to Nilesh is you have certain engineering companies which actually employ engineers as sales executives. Why? Because they are the ones who can really go ahead and deliver, sell the product and talk about those technicality of the product. If you simply get a person from a sales background and put them onto those dispensing or selling of those equipments, they may miserably fail, right? So the example that I would like to give is, even in our own industry, we have Bausch & Lombs and the Alcons and the J&Js who had actually employed optometrists as professional services. Yeah. But then when you go and talk to a practitioner, or when you go and talk with a an institute, the respect that you command and the ease at which you are able to sell, even without selling, even without talking about sales, is far, far easier. So it is only that, we use our knowledge and competency and expertise to give something good to the customer or to the consumer whom we are interacting with. So that is where I'm coming from. So my humble request to the panelists is, don't treat optical dispensing as optometrist dushman.
No, I don't think anyone would. Definitely, I don't think anyone would. Yeah. I think that the debate is on where to draw the line, probably, right? Yeah. And thank you, Ramesh. Very elaborate and very well articulated. Yeah, Anurag, you want to say something quickly?
So I completely agree. If selling is backed up with a consultation, definitely it adds more value.
Of course.
But in India, unfortunately, whenever you are going to purchase a product from an optical shop, the trend is that after purchasing, you get an eye checkup, which is free, which is supposed to be free. So can you digest the fact that you're consulting and you're not getting paid for it? In my clinic, the patient first pays for my consultation and then selects a product, and he is not given any discount on consultation. Okay, he can be given a discount on the products, but he has to pay my full consultation. So a consultation is, whenever we pay for it, we value more for the consultation.
Yes.
Free ki sab cheezein value nahi hoti. The only thing I want to emphasize is, I fully agree to what Ramesh sir has said and other panelists have said, that we are not dushman. We don't fully disagree, but Optoms should always have a consultative approach. They should focus more on the consultative aspect. They should charge for their consultation.
Yes.
Only then a patient will value more.
Right.
This is my.
Yeah, Anurag, I think all the panelists would agree that we should charge for the consultation. I know Yashwant is a very strong advocate for charging the consultation and doing a great job with the consultation, because if you have to charge, you have to give the service, right? You have to be knowledgeable enough, skillful enough to charge. So yeah, I think that could be a different topic again, but we all agree that consultation fees have to be charged for the time and expertise that you offer. We all agree to that. Good, guys. So even it's really heating up on Facebook as well. And I'm going to read out some of the interesting ones. And there are some high profile guests on Facebook, also some educators who are getting involved in the banter. So we have Srikant Masadupalli, again, a student of ours at BBP, and then doing well first in optical, and then he is an educator. He says that dispensing is a consultant optometrist job and selling is an optician's job. If we understand the role, it would be easy. I think well put in simple terms. Fakhruddin Barodawala, again, currently an educator in Malaysia, um, product of Lotus College of Optometry, but currently in Malaysia. He says that define your role. If you are a clinical oriented optom, you could do your part in eye exam, consultation, including eyewear product, contact lenses, vision therapy, etc. Optician trained under or with you can take over the dispensing part. On the other hand, if you are dispensing oriented optometrist, you could do more of dispensing and work together with clinical oriented optometrists. That's Fakhruddin's view. Arijit says that consultation is incomplete without dispensing. So he's still sticking to his gun that it has to end with dispensing, only then the cycle is complete. So we have a longish comment from Devakanni Suresh Kumar. At the end of the consultation, we discuss treatment plan, like what type of lens would be good for his prescription and type of frame that he or she can be benefited of. So would be good if optoms can help them with this too. When we hand over to other professional, we may miss some points and what we discussed to the patient. So again, the person wants to do end to end. Nirupa Kumari agrees with Anurag sir. Now I don't know which part of Anurag sir, but I think optometrist being a consultant, that part probably. Srikant again says that the views are polarized. Yes, Srikant, we agree. There's one more point. Don't cross the thin line. Okay. Bharat Kumar says that agree with Ajay Mishra. Very valid point. Again, which point? I'm not too sure, Bharat. If you can type it again, which point you agree to, I can read it out. But it seems that most people feel that consultation has to be a part of the package or the service package that we offer. I think we have had some wonderful points. There are certain points which are agreed by everyone. I think the first one would be optical dispensing. The knowledge and skills of optical dispensing have to be acquired by all the optometrists. Are we all agree to that? Yes. So that is something which we all agree to. It's one of the core subjects and we need to be well versed with this subject. We all agree. So one good thing. Secondly, at the end of the consultation within the clinic, offering what is the best solution optically is an optometrist job. Do we all agree to this also?
Yes.
Yeah, within the clinic, we are not even going outside, but within the clinic, at the end of the consultation as an optometrist, I feel for you, progressive addition lenses would be the best, or this particular coating would be the best, or enhanced near vision lenses, whatever it could be. So this is another thing we all agree to, that recommending the best possible solution for whatever problems you have because of your lifestyle and vision care needs. That's the second thing we all agree to. Third, I personally feel we all would probably agree to is troubleshooting the patient. So if the patient comes back with a problem, then we may have to be more hands-on, look at the patient, the frame, look at how the patient is wearing the frame, look at which lens was dispensed, remark the PD and see if everything is fine or not. And then if we have to select a frame again, probably we have to be more hands-on. Do we all agree to this as well? I think there will be an agreement here, troubleshooting. Absolutely. So three things we all agree: knowledge and skills in the domain, writing or consultation at the end. And third thing is troubleshooting. Now the disagreement is how far you should get involved. I think that's where the disagreement is, and maybe that varies from the point of practice you have. Like Anurag and Yashwant, they are more into private practice, which is a hardcore optometry clinic. Then I personally feel they would be better served if they are more into the clinical job and not working too much into the optical part, where they have a person who will take care of the optical part more. And if you have a retail chain, or if your practice is more of an optical practice, probably you will be a little bit more inclined towards dealing in that particular department. I think that's a fair concluding remark, that how far you should get involved. That's where we are all um, debating. Three things we all agree. Lakshmi also wants to say something. Go ahead, Lakshmi.
No, I basically kind of agreed to what Ramesh was saying. In professional services, if you look at even ophthalmic lens companies like
Right.
S or Zeiss or anybody, all the trainees are all optometrists.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we need to have the knowledge, we need to train and all of that. And as far as how far to go, it'll vary from practice to practice, as you said. Mostly if you're employed in chains and those kind of practices, then you definitely have to go out and also recommend in terms of frames and all of that. But if you're more into clinical practice, where especially these two, I mean, they are hardcore into ortho K and vision therapy and different other aspects of their practice, that they might feel that the time is better spent on that rather than going out and helping where they have already trained somebody. So it's to answer Ajay Mishra's question about not having a separate course. I think these kind of practices have kind of over the years trained people onto optical dispensing on their own, like how these professional services in corporates are training the people. That's how they have also invested on the staff and train them onto optical dispensing. So, and once they're confident, then that's when they take off their hands. I'm sure Yashwant and Anurag, when they started their practice, they would have also been involved in dispensing. It's over time that you actually move over. So I think for beginners, they really need to know what's on the other end of the spectrum in terms of how do you deal with patients over the counter, how do you actually address them, how do you speak to them, communication skills. For youngsters who are listening to this, it's very, very important. It's not that we are saying that you should not be involved. It's just that over the years, when you build your practice, then maybe you simultaneously train somebody and then you become more clinical. So it's like different phases. You have to go through that. And you absolutely, there is no question in any of the panelists' mind, I think, that we should not have the knowledge. We have to have 100% knowledge of dispensing. There is no substitute to that. It is in terms of where to draw the line, as I said, for beginners, especially like fresh graduates who are listening, you have to be involved, because only then you will get the experience of how to deal with patients over the counter. How do you talk to them? How do you recommend products? What kind of products for what kind of people and all of that. So once you gain that, I think that's when they all tend to start taking a back seat. Like I'm talking in terms of Yashwant and Anurag.
Right. Yeah, I think valid point. As a fresher, it's good to get all the knowledge and exposure in all the fields within optometry, and then slowly you realize what you want to do, what you want to get involved more with, right? So that's a solid point as well. There are a few comments coming on consultative selling skills, and I think we all keep talking about consultative selling skills. Instead of just selling, it's the consultation. It's understanding the person's problem and then providing a solution to fit or to marry the benefits of the solution to the problem itself. That's what consultative selling is all about. And I think it's a very important tool in any consultant's kitty. And unfortunately we don't learn that within optometry, but once we graduate, and there are certain companies, when they hire their people, they train their employees with that. I'm sure in the retail chains also there would be certain trainings that the new fresh optometrists undergo on consultative selling. Maybe the institutes should look at this. I'm not, it is only beneficial. There is no problem with this particular approach. So even if the institutes think of having certain um, you know couple of days programs on consultative selling that would only help the graduating optometrists. Yashwant, you wanted to say something? I saw your hand raised.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to kind of give my concluding remarks for the fresh graduates. They need to decide where they see themselves 5 years from now, whether they would predominantly see themselves as dispensing opticians and refractionists. Then their method of selling glasses or dispensing glasses would vary a bit. And if they see themselves as a clinical optometrist, then let me tell my co-panelists who are speaking for the motion that I'm not against dispensing, but the way you would dispense would differ from the way that I would dispense. So as Lakshmi very aptly put it, when you start your practice, even if you don't wish to dispense eyeglasses, you have to go out there and help your patients to become good customers. But if I am a clinical optometrist, what my aim should be is to create a reflection of me who can take care of dispensing optics outside, so I can spend more time inside. And then, as Nilesh very rightly put in, after the refraction is done, then I sit with the patient, understand the requirement, recommend the product. Then the patient walks out into the optical dispensing area where my reflection is already there to welcome him, right? And then they select a frame. And now comes the difference. When the frame is selected, I don't go outside, they come inside. And when they come inside, either I approve the frame or I reject all the frames that they would have selected. So in case, if I reject all the frames, then they go outside and make another selection. So I am all the time sitting inside and they come inside to consult me whether the frame is right or wrong. And once I give a go ahead, then my guy takes care of the rest. So the method that we dispense our eyeglasses would differ from me to maybe your practice.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Yashwant. I think that is fair enough. And I'm sure all those, especially the youngsters who are, just embarking this wonderful journey of professional optometrists, would have benefited a lot from the points that you guys have put across. So on that note, I think Lakshmi, as usual, we are very punctual, dot on time. It's just 3:30 p.m. In my watch, and we are closing this hot, interesting, fruitful, very productive debate. And I just want to thank all these lovely panelists, great friends and great colleagues of mine and yours. Thank you very much, guys. And
thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for
keep sharing
thank
your
you,
experience
OCI.
and knowledge
Thank
with
you, sir,
youngsters.
for giving us opportunity.
Thank you for all
Thank
of
you.
you.
I think,
in fact, thank you, OCI and
Yes,
Nilesh, for giving me a chance to debate with my favorite student.
Otherwise, where would you get this, right?
I know.
So,
sir.
Now we must appreciate OCI's effort to that they bring up such interesting topics and all wonderful people on one platform, and so many people are getting benefited. I can see that there are many people from outside India also who are logged on today. So thank you very much, guys. If you're from outside India, you're more than welcome to listen to all these debates and all these discussions.
And very passionate also in the debates.
Yeah.
So all of them are
Please commenting. Please keep commenting.
Yes.
Okay. So have a wonderful time, guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. The vaccine has come, but still, please continue to, remain safe and take care of yourselves. Bye.
So if you're a clinical
Thank you so
optometrist,
much.
you might get the vaccine faster.
Faster, yes.
Yeah.
And wear a mask.
Yeah,
Thank
follow all
you.
the safety protocols.
Yes.
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you so
Thank
very
you. Bye,
much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone.
At least we had a consensus that
We do have certain things.
dispensing goes hand in hand. Yeah. Thanks.
Sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Paula.
Thank you,
Bye,
Paula.
Paula.
Thank you, Paula.
The
Paula has
the director of the
disappeared.
show.
Director of the show, exactly.
She only says
There's,
cut.
there's not even so. Yeah, now she's. leaving.
Cut.
So only when you say cut, we are going to leave.
Say
Yeah,
cut, otherwise we
yeah.
are not leaving.
You have to say.
All right. Bye. Bye, everybody.
नहीं
Bye.
cut.
Cut bolna hai.
चलो cheers.